Andrew Bates, former spokesman for President Joe Biden, and Terry Holt, former spokesperson for President George W. Bush. Both are senior communications advisors for the Cost Coalition.
That's good. Now, I didn't, this is when you live television, I didn't read that tease before I sat down today. About, this being a distraction. Is it a distraction or are they just really good multitaskers at some very nefarious things?
The way I see it is, if you look back at Trump's history, this is somebody who gassed protesters in Lafayette Square during his first term. This is somebody who's always eager for a distraction when he knows he is losing support. And quantifiably, he is now the least popular president at this point in a term of anyone in history. And we know why that is. For one thing, his tariffs are the biggest middle-class tax hike in modern history. They're raising the prices that he ran on lowering. That was his number one promise. Now, he's embroiled in a debate over inflationary tax giveaways for the rich that the country rejects, especially because they come at the price of Medicaid, Affordable Care Act, adding to the debt. And in other areas, his administration's falling apart, too. Elon Musk says he's in the Epstein files. He also just accepted a $400 million personal bribe in the form of a jet from Qatar, which is a country that funds Hamas. So I think this is the kind of sputtering behavior that you see from him when he really wants to talk about anything but the economy. And so I think that when we speak out against the ways that he is abusing power, it's important for us to still make sure that that's in the conversation.
To the point about sputtering, I want you to take a listen to what the president had to say today about the state of negotiations with China.
We are doing well with China. China's not easy. We want to open up China. And if we don't open up China, maybe we won't do anything. But we want to open up China. It'll be a great thing for China, a great thing for the rest of the world.
We're doing well with China. What does that mean?
No clue. But 30% of everything that we buy from China is more expensive now than it was a few weeks ago before Donald Trump put a tariff on China. I think, to Andrew's point, this is a guy who hasn't had a lot of victories lately. China is basically giving him the stiff arm. Vladimir Putin isn't listening anymore, no matter what tone or by what means Donald Trump sort of bleats his dissatisfaction with the Russian position. And he just had a no good, very bad week with that Elon Musk dust-up. So in my book, it may not be a distraction by itself, but it is a consistent thing about Donald Trump, that he needs to be a strong and determined leader. And I bet Tony Fabrizio, Donald Trump's pollster, is testing this tonight, and he's liking the results he's getting, that most red states are out there looking at Los Angeles like it's a broken community, and that the president's standing up to thugs. And I think that's the
Which is to say that they are buying into the propaganda that this administration is selling.
Absolutely.
It's easier to do that. That's the easy part for Trump. When he knows your sweet spot, he's just going to keep rubbing it. He's just going to keep playing to it. And he knows, as you noted, with his base, that part of the conversation he can always bring them back to. So very much to your point, Andrew, about how this, it has some aspects of, to what Simone was saying, that they're just good multitaskers, and it's not all the conspiracy theory of distraction. At the core, though, is that very truth that Donald Trump does not want revealed, that he's failed on the one promise that he made to his constituents, that I on day one, will take care of your economic life. The price of eggs, I got you. The cost of insurance, I got you. The things that you sit around that kitchen table worried about, I'm your man. And he can't cut the deals because he's raised the taxes. And the countries aren't buying. The countries are like, all right, you want to do that? What are we here for?
Last week, even his best allies were abandoning him on Capitol Hill. Senators, budget hawks, were tired of talking about the debt and having to defend $2.5 or $3 trillion more in debt. There were 15 members of the House Republican Conference that wrote a letter to John Thune asking him to save them from themselves on the energy tax credits. So we have red states that are floundering under Donald Trump, and I think we still have a vast majority of Americans are going to be affected by the economy no matter what happens in Los Angeles. So we have ports are at half capacity in Los Angeles, for example. Those ripples are going to continue to run through the economy, and he doesn't have a good answer for those kinds of stories.
Except, Andrew, I'm going to send in the National Guard and the Marines.
Which reminds me of how we know for a fact, thanks to his former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired Marine Corps general, that Donald Trump does not respect those who serve in uniform. He calls them, quote, suckers, losers. It is one of the most disgusting things about him as a person to me. But I think that we need to make sure we call him out when he is trying to insult our intelligence, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or anything else like Terry was talking about. The odds are your top priority is costs. He said on day one they would go down. He said in the Republican National Convention speech in 24 that he would end inflation immediately. The opposite has happened. The tariffs are raising everyday costs, and this uncertainty because of the tariffs, because of his disregard for the rule of law, that is also compounding this damage. It's delaying investing decisions. It's delaying hiring. So all of this is working together to actually worsen his biggest problem, which is people are feeling the higher costs, and they're furious that he's about to cut taxes for billionaires at their own expense. And he can't hide that from folks. So I think that whenever we talk about his disrespect of the military, whenever we talk about him making communities like Los Angeles less safe on purpose, selfishly, we need to remember that it's because he is afraid that he is bleeding support. He is the most unpopular president at this stage in a term in history, and it's because he's failing people on the economy, which for a lot of swing voters was the whole point.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think fear is a motivator. And whether it was fear of the economy, fear of people who don't look like you, fear of the unknown, fear of being unsure about where your place is in this world, fear of knowing if you'll be able to make enough money to put food on the table for your family. I think fear is a motivator for people. I think hope is a motivator as well, but fear is a motivator. I think Donald Trump usually runs on motivation by fear as opposed to motivation by hope. In my own personal opinion. That being said, I think I cannot divorce the images that we're seeing out of Los Angeles, and that you rightfully said that the government is ratcheting up the temperature. Okay, it is the government that is creating the standoff that we're seeing by Donald Trump federalizing the National Guard, and now we know
it's
Marines.
Donald Trump who keeps incepting the idea of civil war. Why do you have the president of the United States continually referencing a civil war? He's supposed to bring the temperature down, not elevate it.
Yeah, he's always turn that little fire on the stove up. And I can't divorce that from the Wall Street Journal today saying the canned food aisle is getting squeezed by rising steel tariffs. I can't divorce the two images.
Or I was just going to say, what about all of these countries that we're talking to in terms of trade relationships or investments, as the president likes to talk about, trillions in new investments? They're not going to invest in a country in conflict and chaos. You know, so I think that over the long term, it doesn't serve him on the core issue of the economy to be so blunt and outrageous when it comes to his war powers. But ultimately, it changes the subject. And as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a president more obsessed by the headline, by controlling the narrative, than this White House and this president.